Anytime, any day. Why not right now? Stop looking up to your boss and start being your own boss. Don't work for paychecks. Work for dreams with no regrets. This is Cracking the Entrepreneur Code. If you have the passion, we'll create the blueprint. Now, your host. You know him from his 7 tips to build the business you always wanted, and now you're about to hear a lot more. Jack H.M. Wong.
Welcome to another episode of Cracking the Entrepreneur Code. I'm your host, Jack Wong. So in this episode, I would like to first and foremost acknowledge all of you for supporting me, for supporting this show. You know, it takes a lot of courage to really start a show, knowing nothing right from the start to learning the craft and building the show. And each episode, I'm going to bring to you a new message that concerns your business, concerns your personal development. So in this episode, I really want to continue my story about personal development. So in this respect, I would like to suggest a 3-letter word, which sounds very simple to use. The word is, are you ready for this? Okay, the word is try, spells T-R-Y. So Jack, why would you want to talk about this word? Well, let me give you 2 examples. Number 1, have you watched this movie called Star Wars? I'm sure you have. And what did Yoda say in the show? That is, there's no try, just do it. Incidentally, in the real world, you would have seen, I believe, a logo from Nike. And the logo is a swoosh, and followed by the 3 words below, just do it. So you think about it, why would we say just do it and there's no try? Why would we say try is not a useful word in personal development? So in this episode, I'm going to spend the next couple of minutes to deal with these issues. Because in our mind, when we say try, what does it mean? So it goes back to the words, the phrases, the language that we use to ourselves. Because even though you might think that the use of language is to influence other people, you know who will be the first person to be influenced by our communication? That is ourselves. Research shows that we talk to ourselves very regularly. And some of you who wants the details, like how many times do we speak to ourselves daily? Well, according to one research I was told, we actually speak to ourselves 60,000 times a day. So at this moment, if you think, really? Did I talk to myself? Well, we just did a self-talk without noticing it. And then your response is, really? Yep, you just talk to yourself one more time. So it's pretty interesting that we talk to ourselves, and therefore the words we use, the phrases we use, the communication mode we have given to ourselves, the energy that we used to encourage ourselves, to motivate ourselves, are all very important. So let me go back to this word try. What does actually try implicate? So the word try, according to my teacher Blessinger and Alex Mendosian, signal that it is okay to fail. So what happened is that in the corporate world, if you remember what I said in the last episode, after you are about to tender your resignation, now you follow my 5 steps to deal with your little voice, to master your own little voice. And you know what? I am still not ready to venture out of the entrepreneurship world. Why? Because I am trying to see what happens. I'm trying to have a taste of the entrepreneurship world. The moment you use the word try, it means it is okay to fail. It is okay if it doesn't happen in your way. It is okay to come back to the corporate world. And you know what? At the end of the day, isn't it true that I've said in the last episode that before you decide to embark on your entrepreneurship journey, you shouldn't even think of coming back. If you remember what I've said in the last episode, okay? So it's okay to try, but it means that if you fail, it's okay. So it's not very useful, and it's not empowering what we can have in the personal development world. So what happens is that, well, if you do not try, then what must you do next? Well, some of you might think, or feel that, well, since I'm not going to use the word try, can I say, well, let me do my best? So according to my teacher, Alex Mandosian, well, the phrase do my best is also not good enough, which is the reason why I believe why Nike decided to use just do it. Because the moment you say, I give my best, what is your best? Is your best 100% yet? So let's say on a scale from 0 to 100, and you say, I'll give my best, and you set your best to 80 out of 100, or for that matter, 99 out of 100. Yes, you are giving your best, but it's not the best that we want to see. The world has to see, the universe is looking forward to. Reason is because the best is actually based on your standard. And you are not pushing yourself out of the comfort zone, because the moment you feel setback, you feel some challenges, by saying I'll give my best, it's like trying. In the end, you may come back to the comfort zone. You may say, okay, I will do it another day. It's okay to fail. It's okay to give myself some time to get this done. And you know what? The moment you say to yourself, I will give some more time to myself to get this done, you will take your sweet time. And the worst case is it can take you 15, 20 years. I mean, that's the drastic scenario. But you know what? Things can happen. It's like I was sharing with some of my listeners on this podcast show. It actually took me 6 months to finally execute the task. And the brainstorming time, the time when I was told that I was supposed to do this show, was actually in December 2014. So I myself in this show, as an example, had taken my sweet time. But fortunately, I finally accepted that I have to do whatever it takes, which is the next phrase, which is a lot more powerful, empowering in my opinion in the personal development world. You do whatever it takes. So in the personal development world, the phrase do whatever it takes, it means that if you have a setback, if you have a challenge, what you are going to say to you is, it's not a failure. It is a learning experience. It is a feedback. So once you decide to label this setback as a feedback and learning experience, what you would then do is to think about what did you do, what have you done right, and what have you done not right. And what should you do when you are going to execute this task again? In other words, you are actually changing your strategies to hit the goal, the objectives that you said you want to do. At the end of the day, if you are treating this as a learning experience, you will keep on to this journey, you will continue with this journey, you will still moving along. So therefore, you are moving to the direction of your objectives, of your goal, and you are not coming back. Compared to the person who say, I will try to succeed. Because try means that if I don't get it, I will just go back to my comfort zone. When you say that I will do whatever it takes to achieve my goal, to achieve my objective, there's actually no U-turn. Any setback will only pause you for that moment. But if you can condition yourself to change the strategies, you will continue this journey. And that's precisely the power of using this phrase, do whatever it takes. As opposed to, I will try my best. Well, just try. And you know what? I will do my best. If you don't allow me to use the word try, I will just say I will do my best, which is not good enough. Okay? So from a personal development journey standpoint, I've learned the power of using do whatever it takes. To continue this story, before I finish, I'll just give you one disclaimer. It's like the lawyer's standard disclaimer. Please do not take this literally. Please do not take the phrase do whatever it takes literally. Because imagine you need money, okay? You need money badly because you need to buy the medicine for your loved one, or else your loved one will be in trouble. And you say, I'll do whatever it takes to get the money. So you go to the bank and rob the bank. Well, honestly and literally, that's do whatever it takes. So whenever we use do whatever it takes, just like my coach Blessinger says, well, you would say do whatever it takes with the caveat. So the caveat is 3 words. Are you ready for this? So these 3 words would be 1, legally, 2, morally, and 3, ethically. So let me rephrase this to say one more time in complete sense. I will do whatever it takes, provided that it is legal, moral, and ethical. I will say it one more time. I will do whatever it takes, provided that it is legal, moral, and ethical. So hope that you enjoyed this episode, because I truly believe the moment you decide to start your business, the moment you decide to step out of a comfort zone, you cannot look back. The only way is to take any setback, any challenges as your learning experience. You just keep on fighting on this journey. You do whatever it takes, provided that you do it legally, morally, and ethically. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope that you will get this inspired. If you have any loved ones, any friends you think they will benefit from this, please let them know this show. Please let them know this show and ask them to subscribe to this podcast show so that my message can be reached out to these people. And once again, thank you for listening to Cracking the Entrepreneur Code podcast. And Jack Wong here. I'll say bye-bye. Until we next meet, keep on fighting this journey and do whatever it takes.
To continue cracking the entrepreneur code, subscribe for more episodes and download the Amazon bestseller, Cracking the Entrepreneur Code, 7 Tips to Build the Business You Always Wanted at crackingentrepreneurcode.com. Learn more about author and host Jack H.M. Wong and book your 30-minute discovery session to overcome any professional challenge at jackhmwong.com/apply.